will be on the same place. www.reaperhealth.blogspot.com. This is the blog that I'm using as an example. reaperhealth.blogspot.com. And really, I think a lot of you have had the class that Kathy's offered. A lot of you have looked at blogs before. I'm just trying to go through a couple of different ways that I use them. Not necessarily teaching how to create a blog, or I'm just kind of throwing out some ideas. With the directions, I'm giving you a handout that has everything on there. How to add a video to a blog, how to add a document. If you have any questions, contact me, email me. I'll be more than happy to help you with these. And the reason why I'm teaching this, kind of what I wanted to start off with, I have 3 blogs. I had one whenever I was a Salmonite that I used all the time, where I think I got up to 120 posts. It was a daily thing for my class. And then one that I constantly am updating, which is a basketball one that I'm over 4,000 hits on since June, that I've been working on quite a bit. Anybody can have a blog. I do not use mine to go on rants and raves about what's wrong with this, and blah blah blah. The history department only shows movies. What are they doing up there? Not that I would ever pick on those guys, but I use mine for my classroom. If you go back to the Reaper Health one and you go down to my second blog, this is how I kind of anticipate using it on a day-to-day basis. It'll say Human Anatomy Unit. I put chapter notes on there. So it's a link for me to use in class, as well as a link for the kids to have access to the notes outside of class. So if I have my notes in a PowerPoint or a Word document and I put them onto Google Docs, or I put them onto another cloud computing software site, they can click on it at home at the library and they have access. Study guides, online quizzes. That's the first thing that I really like to use this for in the classroom. At first, when I started teaching health again this year, I thought about putting my actual information, instead of on a PowerPoint, of putting it into the blog. But the font doesn't work really well. It just doesn't flow quite as well. So I found that I can easily go back and forth between the blog and Google Documents. These are all Google sites for the most part. There's only one site that's not ran by Google, owned by Google. They're pretty much so taking over the world. I mean, there are other blogs out there, such as WordPress. I honestly think Blogspot, if you go to www.blogger.com, it's so easy to use. I don't know why you would use them, and it links up so well with everything else. But this is a basic, just example of what I would do for my class. Now at the bottom, below that I put in, and we're going to come back, videos that I provide that are the topics that we're going to go over, that kids can watch in class. Somebody last hour was telling us they went to the library once this summer, and they said that at 8 o'clock in the morning there were like a dozen kids from Plano High School in there in the libraries, and they were all watching videos. And this is kind of what we're trying to make. I saved these for class, which I'll go over here in a little bit. But we're kind of trying to give them tools that they might even want to make them look at it outside of school. If you go all the way back up to the top of this page.
No.
Yes, sir.
To be able to look at those videos that you have on your blog.
At school they would be blocked
Okay.
by the sonic wall. At home at the library, I think at the public library they have access to YouTube. They would pop up. If a kid were to go on this blog and they obviously don't have access to go around, it just comes up as a blank block or box that they wouldn't be able to see it. I've kind of been jumping around here, and I'm going to go through some of my main points here, and then I'll go to a couple of neat tools I think a lot of the people have been interested in. Kind of why I'm teaching this. In 2003, I saw a teacher named Ryan Bretag that was at HBR, and I had no clue what I was doing. My first year of teaching, I was nervous, didn't know I just was outlining chapters of the book, read the chapter, answer the questions at the end. It's like, I got to find some good people to figure out what they're doing. And somebody gave me this guy's name. Is from he was teaching at HBR High School, and he was doing this stuff 10 years ago. And he would have kids read the story they were on. They were commenting online anonymously, in school, out of school, and then they would be feeding off each other's comments, and they would have to put all this stuff. That's an option that people do with blogs. You can have comments all day on there if you want. I don't really use that at school. I'm somewhat afraid of what they're going to put on there, or it gets ruined by something. I use it for a different tool, but a lot of the other blogs, that's their main thing. They want feedback from each other. I talked about my 3 blogs. I did receive my master's degree in education, emphasis in technology, in I think around '06, and I've kind of always just been a tech geek, messing around with different things. I had a website at one point. Blogger is so much easier to use than a website, in my idea. It's easy to update. I think my dad could even use this. And it's idiot-proof. Not that my dad is an idiot. When it comes to technology, he is. I'll show you a couple of simple tricks, and you'll be able to do this. I mean, he reads my blog in basketball all the time. He's always commenting, so he can figure out how to get to it. If you look over here on the right, this is usually what catches people's eyes. This is what I pay attention to, are the gadgets. There's thousands of awesome things you can put on here. I put the links to a couple of different blogs that I've looked at as far as education. I put links, I've seen some people click them already, to my blogs that are over here. I've kept them pretty basic for this class. If you click on the Salmonac one, this is the one that I put probably the most time into. And it starts with my very favorite thing that I had as a gadget on the side, was the video bar. You can change the topic of this. I think in my health one, actually, I believe I did. I changed it to, we were talking for the math department. They wanted a specific math problem. I just went to where I had that gadget at, the little tools underneath it whenever I have an account, and it'll say keywords. So, if I wanted to type in World War II, it's going to come up with the 5 most download. You can change it. It says top rated, most viewed, recently featured. There's even channels on there that you can go to do stuff. And the way I'm using this a lot is we're trying to get them to be interested in it out of school a little bit. And also it's great for your classroom, which we're going to go and save these YouTube videos. We're trying to get the kids to visit the site a little bit after school. And that's, when I look at the Salmonac Blue Room blog, if you go to my first post, they were so basic. They had nothing on them. I learned on the fly. My 115th post was way better than my first. And unless you go all the way back and search that, you wouldn't realize, you'd think, they're all this good. I go through the different links here. I have my favorite class, or favorite websites. This was for my class. If you wanted to have, link websites that you commonly visit, you get stuff where the kids can access, you can put them right there. Blogs that you follow. And this is kind of just how I've lined it up differently. One thing that I did at Salmonac is we did a lot of video, and I would videotape my kids in class, and they would be able to see it on there. Got a lot of hits from that. Kids would just come on here to watch the different workout videos, and some of them still visit this website. They wanted to know how to do an overhead press, or they wanted to know how to do this specific workout. They were on here watching the video of it. And we basically use this CrossFit company, which is kind of like online, has a lot of members. They post a lot of videos, and that's what we were basing a lot of this off of. But that's one of the things that really got people to my blog here, were just sharing videos. And then occasionally, we'd have something the kids would just want to see. We were all constantly talking about athletic performance, so we'd have videos that were, we were talking about vertical jump at this point. We wanted to see people in action. Let's see here. Just a couple more things and I'll go over any questions you have. I talked about the videos. I gave examples of ones you could put for different classes on Reaper Health. Sports injuries, that's one of the favorite ones the kids see. We're in the middle of a unit where we're talking about ACLs, talking about ligaments, joints, and tendons. It does nothing better than to show them this video and they see what actually happens whenever your ACL blows out. Some of these videos are pretty grotesque. But this really gets the kids' attention, especially better than our health book. If we had a health book, it would probably have had a picture from 1974 in there, and they're instead watching a video. Oh, this one's the best one. Yeah, they get to. I just had to show this.
Oh gosh.
Math. The last hour we were talking about math. If you go on specific math problems, you type it in YouTube, you're going to find hundreds of examples. There's people teaching the stuff online. If you're in a particular unit, you could put some of the YouTube videos up there that you would find, and we're suggesting that they be able to use them outside of school. Did find the Paris one is an example I used. I had a geography teacher at Somonac I was trying to get to start using YouTube. She typed in Paris. First 200 videos that came up, Paris Hilton. Be specific whenever you type things in. She was looking for Paris, France. That came up. She didn't want to use it ever again after that. You can get home videos. For health, public service announcements are all over the place. They are awesome in class. And probably the coolest thing that's out there are the class projects that people do and put on there. For me, for health, I watch some of the class projects on there. I'm like, I really need to step up this project we're doing. The kids will put any video they make, they will put online. So if you type in a very specific type of project, you will find things on YouTube. And then for history, I made an example here. I know this would be the shortest clip ever shown in the history department of 9 minutes. But you can have shorter films. This is a reenactment I found in Pickett's Charge that last night. It took me 2 seconds to find this. I put the YouTube video on here, and in a second, like I said, we're going to go through on how you can save them so you're not having to stream at school. You might find 2 or 3 kids that are interested in this and would look at it outside of school. And then it starts to build from there. And that's really what I've found with my blogs, or they've gone from nothing to building up quite a bit. The one that I started this summer, everybody told me, oh, nobody's going to look at this at all. And then I look down at my hit counter now, and since June, I'm at 4,339 views. And the last time I checked, it was 10 countries that had posted, or that had viewed this. Like I said, I'm kind of jumping all over the place trying to show all the stuff. With the links that I said,